In 2024, Russia had received 240mm rocket systems. These systems were capable of firing at ranges between 40 and 70 kilometers. Ukrainian drone operators, however, used long-range FPV drones to hit targets deep inside enemy territory. A missile went flawlessly through the cabin. Within minutes, the fire reached the ammunition. That's when it happened. Russian forces launched a large-scale assault to capture Ukrainian positions. More than 5 armored vehicles were deployed. Tanks and infantry fighting vehicles advanced. But the plan failed from the very start. The leading tank drove onto an anti-tank mine. Seeing their lead vehicles destroyed, Russian troops made the wrong call by continuing to push through the minefield. When 2 more tanks hit mines and stopped, the assault collapsed. In the end, 3 tanks were lost, 1 armored vehicle abandoned, and the last BMP managed to retreat. But this BMP, loaded with ammunition, was also left behind. Ukrainian UAV operators continued their strikes using fiber optic guided drones. The operator calmly guided the drone into the open hatch. A massive explosion followed. And this Russian BMP was spotted not far away. The crew abandoned the vehicle. Ukrainian operators launched an FPV drone. Despite heavy jamming, the drone flew straight into the open hatch. A direct hit. Another enemy vehicle destroyed. Within minutes, the fire reached the ammunition and detonated. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detected a Russian 152mm howitzer. Coordinates were relayed to HIMARS operators and a strike was carried out. The target was destroyed, but the operation wasn't over. HIMARS launched a second missile at another artillery system. Direct impact. Enemy artillery would not fire again. Russian crews tried to hide the remaining systems, but it was too late. HIMARS struck once more. Although the missile didn't land directly on the howitzer, shrapnel did the job perfectly. Another system was destroyed. This was a Russian 152mm artillery battery. They had just finished firing. The crew tried to conceal the system in nearby woods, but Ukraine's HIMARS fired immediately. A GMLRS missile struck the vehicle with pinpoint accuracy. The target was eliminated. Russian armored units with APCs and fresh BMPs carrying infantry launched another large attack. Vehicles equipped with advanced electronic warfare systems also pushed forward. Ukrainian forces countered with FPV drone. 1 vehicle was destroyed. Another hit an anti-tank mine and stopped. Russian crews abandoned their vehicles and fled. Meanwhile, Ukrainian FPV drones kept striking the immobile targets. As a result, 3 APCs and 2 new BMPs were completely destroyed by Ukrainian operators. A new Russian T-80 tank moved forward to bombard Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian troops wasted no time, sending FPV drones that struck the engine compartment. The tank stopped. The crew quickly escaped. Another drone was deployed to finish the job. A precise strike into the open hatch caused a massive fireball. The target was annihilated. And this armored group advanced toward Ukrainian defenses. The Russians planned to quickly deploy infantry, but as usual, things went wrong. Ukrainian FPV drone halted the advance. A strike from behind set 1 vehicle ablaze. Meanwhile, the second APC continued moving until it hit a mine. The APC was abandoned. An FPV drone moved in. A direct hit set the vehicle on fire. Another drone targeted a Russian vehicle. With precise impact, the assault was stopped. In occupied Crimea, a Russian Panzer air defense system was detected. Ukrainian intelligence deployed heavy drones to strike deep into enemy territory. The Russians opened fire once they realized their air defense was under attack. Missiles flew past the Ukrainian drone. The operator locked on and attacked. And this was the result. The strike succeeded and the enemy air defense was destroyed. A Ukrainian drone then spotted a Russian command center. At first glance, it looked like an abandoned building until enemy troops were seen inside. A Ukrainian F-16 was called in, dropping precision-guided bombs. The deadly strikes hit their mark. The Russian command center was obliterated. A Russian armored vehicle was heavily damaged. To recover it, the Russians brought in special equipment. Ukrainian forces, however, deployed the US-supplied Switchblade drone. Switchblade uses AI to track its target, making it resistant to jamming. With a direct hit into the cabin, the vehicle was destroyed. Just a few kilometers away, a Russian artillery unit was spotted. The blade was unleashed. A perfect strike. Enemy artillery eliminated. Another Russian command center was detected by a reconnaissance drone. Coordinates were transmitted. Ukraine launched MiG-29s with Hammer precision bombs. From 56 kilometers away, the Hammer bomb struck with incredible accuracy. The target? A Russian Nano artillery system. Its key advantage was the ability to fire up to 6 rounds per minute. Ukrainian drone operators used FPV strikes against such a valuable target. A direct hit. The enemy vehicle stopped. Fire broke out inside. Minutes later, ammunition ignited, causing an explosion. This was a Russian Nano artillery system. An ammunition-loaded BMP abandoned by Russian troops came under repeated FPV drone strikes. A drone flew into the open hatch, scattering metal fragments. Flames reached the cabin, and within minutes, the ammunition detonated. As the battle intensified, Ukrainian forces expanded their drone operations deeper into enemy-held territory. FPV drones and intelligence UAVs were deployed not only against armored convoys, but also against logistic hubs and supply routes critical to sustaining Russian advances. Moving under the cover of trees and abandoned structures, these drones provided real-time reconnaissance, identifying artillery positions, fuel depots, and hidden weapon caches that Russian commanders had assumed were secure. Russian attempts to respond with electronic countermeasures proved increasingly futile. Ukrainian drones, equipped with advanced anti-jamming systems, bypassed interference and maintained target locks. One FPV drone successfully penetrated a fortified depot, entering through a hatch and striking ammunition storage directly. The resulting explosion disrupted an entire resupply network, immobilizing Russian forces for hours and forcing them to reconsider their operational strategy. Meanwhile, Ukrainian HIMARS units coordinated with drone operators to neutralize long-range artillery threats. Precision rocket strikes destroyed multiple 152mm howitzers before they could fire a single round. Observing from overhead, drones relayed critical feedback, allowing operators to adjust targeting in real time. This synergy between aerial intelligence and long-range firepower rendered previously fortified Russian artillery virtually ineffective. In the field, abandoned BMPs and APCs became a recurring scene. As crews fled from drone attacks and minefields, Ukrainian operators struck without hesitation, ensuring these vehicles could never return to combat. Switchblade drones, autonomous and AI-guided, targeted these vehicles from multiple angles, striking engines, ammunition compartments, and exposed crew sections with pinpoint precision. Each strike demonstrated Ukraine's ability to combine speed, intelligence, and firepower in a continuous chain of offensive and defensive operations. Air assets further amplified Ukraine's operational advantage. Fe-16s and MiG-29s, directed by intelligence drones, carried out high-precision strikes on Russian command posts, radar installations, and supply nodes. Explosions from precision bombs not only destroyed critical infrastructure but also disrupted communications, leaving Russian units unable to coordinate effectively. The combination of UAV reconnaissance and manned airstrikes created an unrelenting pressure on enemy forces, forcing them to retreat from positions they had previously deemed secure. Simultaneously, Ukrainian drones targeted advanced Russian electronic warfare systems, designed to protect armored formations and impede unmanned operations. FPV drones executed direct strikes, hitting exposed components, detonating onboard munitions, and neutralizing the systems intended to block them. These operations effectively turned the enemy's own defenses against them, demonstrating the growing dominance of drone-based warfare in modern combat. By continuously attacking command centers, supply depots, and armored units, Ukraine forced Russian troops into a defensive posture across multiple fronts. Each drone strike, HIMARS launch, or precision air attack was meticulously calculated to maximize impact and reduce collateral exposure. Russian forces, once reliant on armor and artillery superiority, now faced a battlefield where mobility, logistics, and command were relentlessly targeted, and their traditional tactics proved insufficient against the technologically superior Ukrainian strategy. In the following phase, Ukrainian operators expanded their drone operations to target emerging threats, including mobile rocket launchers and reinforcement convoys. FPV drones penetrated dense terrain, identifying high-value targets and transmitting coordinates to HIMARS teams and fighter jets. The resulting strikes neutralized multiple mobile artillery platforms, leaving advancing Russian infantry exposed and slowing any attempt at a coordinated push. Overall, the sustained integration of drones, long-range rockets, and precision airstrikes created a battlefield where Russian advances were consistently anticipated and neutralized. Ukrainian forces maintained the initiative, exploiting technological superiority and real-time intelligence to dismantle enemy formations, disrupt logistics, and impose continuous operational pressure. The outcome was clear. Every armored vehicle destroyed, every artillery unit silenced, and every command post leveled, reinforced the strategic reality that Ukrainian drone warfare and precision operations were decisively shaping the course of the conflict.